I guess maybe the whole point of this is to say that HIIT counts as exercising. Not that it's better than any other exercise, but that it counts as exercise. Maybe I'm missing the point here. Maybe I'm the one that's fucked up. Maybe. There's a good chance. Alright, welcome back to the channel. It's Michael for Inducting Fitness. And today I was going to go over... eventually I was going to do an assessment of different watches and how they calculate things to show that they're more inaccurate than you might think. And then I came across this article about HIIT, the high intensity interval training. Yeah, he's a dog, I promise. I couldn't ignore it. It's too bad. So the article is by Ace Fitness, and it's the benefits of HIIT training, 8 reasons HIIT workouts are so effective. So you already got me with the clickbait because I can't imagine that they're super effective. All right, so let's just go over this like point by point, and we'll talk about them. I'll give you my opinion. My opinion is not necessarily like on a doctorate level or anything like that, because I'm not a doctor, but I do understand how things work for the most part. So it starts off with you can still, so the whole premise to HIIT exercising and why it's so popular is because the idea is that you can get a lot more training done in a short amount of time. You just have like a high intensity training and then you rest, and then high intensity and then you rest. High intensity, right? So you can do it in half the time, which just at the top of it, like mathematically, does that make sense? Like you're doubling the effort, but you're quartering the amount of time you're doing it in. You're not, because you're going from an hour to a half hour, but you're resting for more than half of that time. So you're working for a quarter of the time with potentially double the effort. So, I mean, we're already at a net loss here. Okay, so it says that the first paragraph, it says you continue to burn calories for hours after you do the workout because it's such a high intensity. Well, sure, you will continue to burn calories after any workout, and that's, and the amount of calories that you're burning is going to be a percentage or a ratio of the intensity of the work that you did. So let's say you run for an hour, you're still going to be burning calories after that hour based on the amount of time and the intensity that you did during that run. Same thing with working out. It's going to be less because you burn less calories, but it's still going to be in around 10% range, right? So let's say you do a 20-minute HIIT. Okay, so you're working 5 to 10 minutes of that. Okay, so let's say you did a really good job and you have burned 200 calories in that HIIT, in that high intensity interval, right? Because I'm sure it's as high as it can be. But let's say you burn 200 calories, and this epoch, so like that whole idea that you burn calories after you're done, it's an extra 20 calories. So is that worth it? That's a bite. That's less than a bite. That's a sip of your Starbucks. Probably less than a sip. So good job with that one. But you get that effect with any exercise. It's just based on the amount of calories that you're burning during the exercise, the effort that you're putting into it. That ratio applies to all of the exercises. It's not just these trendy ones, I promise. The second bullet is that you will bump, your body metabolizes fat for fuel during the workout. It's going to be dependent on your diet, but any workout will do that. Sure. The third one's a joke. It's saying that when you exercise and you're breathing heavy, the amount of oxygen that you need goes up. So you're burning more calories because you're breathing more, right? You're going to burn more calories because your body is working harder, your lungs are working harder. So it's just saying it's effective because it makes you breathe hard. You can do that in every. You can do that. You can do that anywhere. You don't need this. So yeah, good job with that one. It's effective because it makes you breathe hard, as opposed to a jog, or a run, or an intense like weightlifting session. But like if you're trying, you're gonna breathe hard. I mean, it's all about the effort. You have to lift heavy. So then the fourth one, it's effective because it builds up lactic acid and teaches your body to get rid of the acid, like running would do, or biking, or swimming, or any exercising. I guess maybe the whole point of this is to say that HIIT counts as exercising. Not that it's better than any other exercise, but that it counts as exercise. Maybe I'm missing the point here. Maybe I'm the one that's fucked up. Maybe. There's a good chance. So the fifth one, again, is saying it produces physiological benefits, which I imagine you would categorize the other benefits as well. And the sixth one, this one's probably my favorite. It talks about how HIIT places a significant amount of metabolic stress on the muscle tissue, allowing it to be damaged and then repaired later, which is the foundation of almost every exercise that you're doing. So like you could say that about anything that is considered exercise. So according to this, HIIT will lead to increases in muscle mass and definition. From what I've seen, like I don't see a lot of weights in HIIT. I see sweating, like it's difficult for people to do, for sure. Like I'm not going to take that away from them. But it's not, I don't see things that are building muscle. I see things that are increasing your endurance, increasing your cardio, which is good, right? If you want to do this just because you want the cardio effect, great, this is perfect, right? If you don't want to build something specific and you just want to spend some time to improve your cardio, then yes, this is the style of exercise you can be doing. You can improve your cardio for this one, for sure. That is what it's going to do. But it's not going to, if you're using this to do weight loss, or you're using this to build muscle, there are more effective ways, more effective exercises to do it in. And less strenuous, too. And less time. Is this how you do a 30-minute HIIT? Compare that to like a 30-minute walk or a 30-minute jog. You're probably going to burn more calories from the jog. I mean, you'll burn more calories from the jog. You might even burn more calories from the walk, depending on the incline or your pace, because you're just constantly moving. You're not taking the break. So another thing that confuses me about the HIIT is that it's not high intensity. No one's actually doing the high intensity portion of it like they should. I mean, some people are, right? Like the legitimate athletes who are doing this as conditioning, sure. But if you go to a HIIT class, high intensity, if you do a high intensity exercise for 20 or 30 seconds, you're out for a couple minutes. You can't just get back on it and then do it again 30 seconds from then. You're not doing high intensity. It's hard, sure, it's rough, but it's not high intensity. Like if I sprinted for 20 seconds and then 30 seconds later you're like, all right, sprint again, go fuck yourself. I'm not going to do it because I can't. I can probably jog. I can be a little bit, go faster than a jog, but I can't. I cannot sprint, right? I'm not a top tier athlete. So unless you're a top tier athlete who knows what that effort feels like, you're not going to be putting in the foundation of what this sort of exercise program is for. I'm not even going to go over that one. So for HIIT, I don't want to slam it too much because any exercise is good exercise. It's just not always effective. But if you're doing this because you like it, then great, this is perfect for you. If you're doing it because you want to increase your cardio slowly over time, this is like probably like the best thing you can do to increase your cardio over time, as long as you can handle those intervaled like high exertion periods. But if your goal is to build muscle, this is not it. If your goal is to like burn fat, this will do it at a really slow pace. The problem that you have when it comes to these types of trendy programs is that people overestimate how much work they're doing because it's so hyped up. So if you're overestimating how much you're doing, you're going to tend to overcompensate by eating something, or your lifestyle is going to be a little different, and you're going to negate any positive effect that you'd get from the program. So like if you can do it right, then sure, slowly it'll start burning off fat. If that's your goal. I don't know what your goal is. If your goal is not to just increase cardio over time, if your goal is not to just work out for 10 minutes a day, then this is really not the program that I would suggest for you. Like, especially if you're like overweight, right? And you have joint problems or something like that. Like, this is not the thing you need to be doing. Like, this is for in shape to fairly average people who want to increase the thing. If you're not within that range, then there's the benefits that you get from this one do not match the risks, especially if you're like adding in weights or you're trying to keep up with somebody else. So like the premise to it is overblown, and like the benefits from it are obviously just monetized, right? Like, I'm literally reading an article about ridiculous things, and again, if used properly with the right mindset, and if it fits your goals, then yes, it's fine. But the problem is, it's not advertised that way. It's not a fix-all. It's not a good fat burner. It'll make you feel good, sure, but it's not doing the things that most people think it does, and I think that's where the problem is. To summarize, any exercise is a positive exercise as long as it's not going to injure you or someone's going to get hurt from it, right? But there are exercises that are more effective than others, and HIIT is kind of one of the ones, and Tabata, or whatever the hell that's called, like, I don't know, I've done zero research on that one. I guess I probably should not roll my eyes until I've done research on it. But those exercises that are trendy, I mean, they're trendy for a reason, right? Usually it means that the benefits are overblown or misleading. The benefits you get from this, you get from a steady state cardio over like a short period of time. So without the risks of high impact movements or strains or whatever you might get doing this because your body's not used to it. So like, to me, it's risk versus reward, and in this case it's not worth the risk, even though it's pretty low risk, unless you're like doing something stupid with weights and one of those little fucking Bosu balls. I don't know. If you're unsure if your goal is to just improve your cardio, then this is probably not what you want to do, unless you're just like trying out different exercises. Like, try it out. If you like it, then great. Maybe you'll run that. Maybe your intensity will be enough to make it worth it. But just don't expect these benefits that are associated with it to be realistic, because they're not. You're not getting as much done as you expect to be getting. So yeah, thanks for watching, and next time the video will be on something different. Maybe it'll be the Tabata. Fuck, I really need to figure out how to say that word.